The movie begins as Phineas, Ferb, Perry, Candace, and Dr. Doofenshmirtz walk in shackles as they are about to get fed to a hungry Goosum. They get captured by giant hovering robots, and Phineas cannot help but compare their current situation with how well the day began for them. The scene shifts to the beginning of their day when Phineas and Ferb wake up to start their morning routine and reminisce about the time when they first meet Perry and adopted him from the organization without a cool acronym's animal shelter. Phineas and Ferb then play baseball using Perry's tail when their friends Isabella, Buford, and Baljeet arrive. They decided to construct a platypus-themed playground and afterward look for Perry, who has gone missing. Little did they know, Perry is a secret agent named Agent P. He returns to his lair and receives a warning from Major Monogram that he has received reports regarding Perry's host family, who almost caught him several times going to the lair. Major Monogram warns him that if his cover gets blown, he will have to transfer to another city with another host family. He later briefs Perry about his new mission of gathering more information regarding Dr. Doofenshmirtz's new project, the Other Dimensionator. Carl then appears via a platform and provides him with a new set of new gadgets to help with the mission. Aboard his new rocket, Agent P flies off but collides with Phineas and Ferb's shuttlecock vehicles, which they launch using the platypus tail they made. The collision causes Phineas and Ferb's vehicle to go off course and lands on Doofenshmirtz's Evil Incorporated building as Dr. Doof begins a test run of his new invention that is designed to allow him to travel to alternate dimensions. The crash destroys his new invention and Phineas and Ferb offer their help to fix it. When Phineas is about to put the last part of the Other Dimensionator, Agent P appears and freezes in surprise to see Phineas and Ferb helping Dr. Doof. He immediately reverts himself to Perry before the two see him. When Phineas and Ferb see Perry, they introduce him to Dr. Doof, who doesn't seem to recognize his enemy. Agent P Phineas tries to put the last part, but Perry jumps in and snatches it from Phineas. He hides under the table, but Phineas grabs it and finishes Dr. Doof's machine. Perry once again tries to prevent Phineas, to no avail. When Dr. Doof activates the machine, it opens a portal to the second dimension where an evil version of him lives. Dr. Doof, Phineas, and Ferb along with Perry step into the portal. In that dimension, Dr. Doof discovers that an evil version of him has conquered the tri-state area. The second dimension, Dr. Doofenshmirtz has successfully taken over the city with his massive army of hovering robots, which are called Normbots. The second dimension's Major Monogram is also Dr. Doof 2's personal assistant. To his delight, Dr. Doof demands to personally meet Dr. Doof 2. He goes on a ride where he gets taken straight to Dr. Doof 2's office. Both are surprised to see another version of themselves. The only difference is that Dr. Doof 2 wears an eye patch on one of his eyes and with a small beard. While Dr. Doof and Dr. Doof 2 are in a conversation, Phineas, Ferb, and Perry enter the room. Dr. Doof 2 recognizes Perry as the secret agent, Agent P, while Dr. Doof doesn't. Dr. Doof 2 calls in the second dimension Perry, who is now turned into an evil cyborg after getting defeated in a battle with Dr. Doof 2 5 years ago. Dr. Doof 2 orders the cyborg Perry to attack Perry to blow his cover, but Perry remains as the pet platypus Phineas and Ferb know. To make Perry reveal his identity, Dr. Doof 2 then orders the cyborg Perry to attack Phineas and Ferb. Perry punches the cyborg Perry before it can hurt the two, then wears his signature hat, proving that he is a secret agent. Knowing the truth upsets Phineas and Ferb, especially Phineas, who cannot accept the fact that Perry did not trust them enough. Dr. Doof 2 summons his Normbots to capture the trio, but they escape through the glass floor and land safely on another building with Agent P's parachute. However, Agent P's feet get stuck in an animal skull, which gives him a little disadvantage in hand combat against cyborg Perry. The fight continues until Phineas, Ferb, and Perry escape when the flying skull hits the Normbot and cyborg Perry gets hit by a bus. In Danville, as the absence of his boyfriend leads him to believe she's now an adult, Candace decides to bust the boys herself with her friend Stacy. When they arrive at the backyard, Phineas and Ferb are nowhere to be found, which makes her believe that some mysterious force is protecting the boys. With Stacy, Isabella, and Baljeet, Candace looks for them and finds Buford in the park chewing a victory gum. When Candace could not find Phineas and Ferb, she pulls Stacy back to their backyard. Back in the second dimension, Phineas cannot hide his anger and scolds Perry for being doubtful about them. Ferb reminds them of the remote control of the machine. Phineas tries to open a portal several times, but it would not let them reach their dimension. Now that the remote is broken, they decide to look for their second dimension selves to ask for help. They meet their parents and their other selves in their second dimension home and introduce themselves as their counterpart. Meanwhile, Agent P sees a broadcast of the two Doofenshmirtz threatening him they will hurt his friends if he doesn't turn himself in. Finally making up his mind to surrender, Perry decides to sneak out, but Phineas and Ferb see him. Phineas stops Agent P from sneaking out since it would make no sense for them as they already know the truth. As Phineas cannot get over the fact that Perry hides his identity from them, he tells Perry to go. Agent P leaves and Phineas and Ferb return to their house. They decide to go to the second dimension Isabella's house, but a Norm bot blocks their way and demands their identification. The second dimension Buford saves them and takes down the Norm bot. Buford 2 reveals that he is part of an organization against Dr. Doof 2 called the Resistance, but he became so good at resisting, he now resists the Resistance too. As they enter the premises of Isabella 2's house, they fall down a shaft and get tied up by the Firestorm Girls, who are the second dimension counterpart of the Fireside Girls. Isabella 2 appears and interrogates them. When Phineas answers that they are Candace's brothers, Isabella 2 orders the others to release them and leads them to the second dimension version of Baljeet, who is called Dr. Baljeet. Upon knowing Phineas and Ferb's concerns, Dr. Baljeet explains that their dimensions lie next to each other in the flow of the multiverse. Therefore, going to the second dimension is easy, but returning to the first dimension will be needing a ton of energy to go against the flow of energy. Later, they are introduced to the leader of the Resistance, who is none other than Candace 2. She then orders the rest to get to work and divert energy to help Phineas and Ferb return to their dimension. Meanwhile, Dr. Doof 2 decides he will conquer the tri-state area of the first dimension as he determines that Dr. Doof cannot do so. Dr. Doof agrees to team up and makes another dimension in Aether. When Dr. Doof tests the machine, it fails to work as Phineas and Ferb are the ones who fixed his machine back at the first dimension. Dr. Doof 2 now mentions a change of their plan as he will be needing the boys' help to fix the machine. Back at Isabella 2's house, Dr. Baljeet manages to open the portal to the first dimension, but news about Agent P getting captured prevents Phineas and Ferb from returning home. They want to rescue Agent P first. Candace 2 initially disagrees, but Phineas 2 and Ferb 2 convince her. In their backyard, Candace tries to talk to the mysterious force when suddenly a portal opens which makes them believe that the mysterious force is real. She enters the portal and leaves Stacy behind. The portal closes, and now she's stuck in the second dimension just like the other. Candace 2 leads the gang into an underground mine where they ride mine carts to break into Dr. Doof 2's lair. Midway, Candace 2 discovers that Phineas 2 and Ferb 2 stowed away, which leaves her no choice but to let them tag along. She decides to stop at a point due to the safety of her brothers and lets Candace, Phineas, Ferb, and Buford 2 continue. But then they discover that it was a trap and they are surrounded by an army of Norm bots and the Doofenshmirtz with Agent P who is restrained with a shackle. They manage to escape when Agent P triggers a call to Major Monogram with his watch to blind the enemies. With the help of Candace 2, they manage to lock their enemies out while they board the mine carts. The Norm bots chase them down along the mine tracks. Candace 2 fight off the Norm bots using her staff, but more robots appear along with Cyborg Perry. To save the second dimension gang and to ensure the safety of her brothers, Candace 2 separates their cart from Phineas, Ferb, Candace, and Agent P who are then captured by the Norm bots. Phineas, Ferb, Candace, and Agent P are brought to Dr. Doof 2's lair where they get restrained by Norm bots. Dr. Doof 2 forces them to fix the machine but Phineas and Ferb refuse. Dr. Doof then remembers the self-destruct button and fixes the machine himself. When Dr. Doof 2 realizes that he no longer needs help, he orders the Norm bots to bring Phineas, Ferb, Candace, and Perry along with Dr. Doof to a room surrounded by hot lava. Dr. Doof 2 plans to feed them to his beast, Guzum. Agent P manages to pull the key using his watch, but the Guzum's movement shakes the cage as he tries to unlock the chains, causing the key to fall on the cage. Agent P attempts to get the key, but they start to fall one by one and thankfully, Candace catches the key. Agent P tries to prevent them from falling into the hot lava. Candace 2 arrives and throws the remote control of the machine to Phineas before defeating the Norm bots surrounding them. Phineas tells Perry to let go and trust him. Perry hesitates at first but later releases his grip. As they fall toward the hot lava, Phineas opens a portal and they escape to another dimension. Some of the Norm bots follow before Phineas closes the portal. They use the key to unlock the chains and free themselves. Candace 2, however, gets captured and imprisoned by the Norm bots. Phineas, Ferb, Candace, Perry, and Dr. Doof run through numerous dimensions before finally returning to the first dimension where they meet Buford, Baljeet, and Isabella in a park. However, they arrive at the same time as Dr. Doof 2 who activates the portal on the rooftop of the Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated and summons millions of Norm bots to invade Danville. Back in the second dimension, Candace 2 is rescued by Phineas 2 and Ferb 2 with the help of the second dimension Jeremy, who is a soldier. They all leave as Candace asks them to go with her to help save the first dimension from Dr. Doof 2. Meanwhile, Agent P receives a call from Major Monogram to help the other agents prevent the Norm bots from invading the city. Major Monogram tells Phineas, Ferb, and Candace to go home. Before they go, Agent P hands over his locket to Phineas. In their home, the locket suddenly beeps and leads them to Agent P's lair. The computer tells them to insert the key, which is Agent P's locket, to activate the secret message. They are then informed that if they receive that message, it means that the city is under a red emergency and Agent P desperately needs their help. The robots then replicate Phineas and Ferb's invention, which they use to help the other agents fight off the Normbots. The rest of the kids riding their inventions arrive to deal with the remaining Normbots. While the others try to defeat the Normbots, Phineas and Agent P sneak to the top of the Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated building where Cyborg Perry confronts them. Agent P deals with Cyborg Perry while Phineas tries to stop Dr. Doof 2 from summoning more robots from the second dimension. Agent P defeats Cyborg Perry by pushing him into an electrical socket and gets electrocuted. While fighting Dr. Doof 2, Phineas realizes that the satellite dish controls the Normbots, so he tries to get his baseball launcher. But Dr. Doof 2 grabs it first and corners him before launching a baseball toward him. Thankfully, he manages to hit the ball with a bat Agent P throws at him. The ball destroys the dish and thousands of Normbots start falling from the sky. Meanwhile, Ferb climbs the building with plungers and reaches the rooftop. Phineas greets him and a robot version of Dr. Doof 2 emerges from the ground. Dr. Doof 2 maneuvers the robot on its sleeves and attempts to crush the three when Dr. Doof arrives with his toy train. Dr. Doof 2 sees the train and calls it Choo Choo, the train he lost in his childhood. He immediately apologizes for his evil behavior and self-destructs all his robots before returning to the second dimension where the Firestorm girls arrest him for his crimes against humanity. Candace 2, Phineas 2, and Ferb 2 emerge from the portal. Candace 2 embraces Candace and praises them for defeating Dr. Doof 2 while Phineas 2 and Ferb 2 thank their first dimension counterpart for introducing Summer to them. They reunite with Cyborg Perry, who has been stripped of evil and returns as their pet. They bid farewell as they go back to their dimension. Later, Major Monogram arrives with Carl and tells Phineas and Ferb that they need to get Agent P away now that they know his true identity. Phineas asks if there is any other way. Carl suggests using Dr. Doof's amnesia innator to remove their memory of the day to keep Perry as their pet. They all agree. At OWCAS headquarters, Phineas and Ferb say their last goodbyes to Agent P as their memory of him being a secret agent will be erased. They all line up, and before activating the amnesia innator, Isabella confirms to Major Monogram that they will not remember anything on that day, after which Major Monogram confirms. She kisses Phineas, and before he can react, Carl activates the machine, erasing their memories. Afterward, Agent P returns to his lair and takes out his camera full of pictures from their adventure. The movie ends as Agent P smiles and saves the pictures. His identity as a secret agent remains hidden from his owners.